Good morning. This is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today is Friday and it is the day for my color and chat. And I am so thankful to all of you who have given me encouragement for my color and chats. It's the most hardest thing I wanted to be able to do on a coloring channel, but I had a difficulty at the very beginning because, as most of you know, I'm bedbound most of the time, and I just don't really have a lot to talk about. But I think I've gotten better at it, and I think the proof is in that my color and chats have expanded from 20 to 30 minutes to 45 minutes to almost an hour. Obviously, I have more to say, or I've found more to say about nothing. So, I am in or I should say, I am co-hosting Spooky Cute Coloring this month with Samantha Marie Oswald, and that's what we're going to be coloring today, something that is spooky cute. And this color along is hosted by the two of us, and if you don't already subscribe to Samantha, then I urge you to do so, or at least go over there and watch her for a little while, and I think you will find yourself wanting to subscribe to her. She is a lovely person, and she has a very interesting channel, and I love watching her color and chats. She makes it seem so easy to talk to her camera. So, anyways, we're coloring out of Kameliya Angelkova's 50 Halloween Mandalas, and this came out this month. It actually came out the day I was placing my order. I had no idea that it was coming out, that it even existed. I don't belong to any of Kameliya's to any group dedicated to her, so I don't know if it was announced and I missed it, or if it was a surprise like it was to me. But I was just about to place my order, and then when I I don't log in, I'm automatically logged in, but when I arrived, this was showing in the you might like, or the the suggestions section, and I was like, oh, must get, because I collect her books, and ever since the summertime one, I have been making sure I buy the new one when it comes out, and I'm playing catch up with the others and getting one of those every now and then. So yeah, definitely had to get this, and unfortunately I had to remove something from my cart so that I could get this, and that was, I ended up actually removing both of the Jade Summer books that are out this season, and they're very popular, which is making me wish I had got them as well, but I had to make the money choice here. So we're going to start with the first picture in here. I will color this too, but I don't consider it the first picture. And that's just whenever I decide to color it. So the first picture is the cover picture, and that's what we're going to be coloring today. And I wondered if maybe this was a little bit too spooky for the Spooky Cute, but I don't really think so. We have the spooky trees. Let's look at it colored when you see it better. We have the spooky trees, but then the other side is definitely cute. We have a cute jack-o'-lantern with a big smile, and we've got his cute little friends, the spider and the owl. I love owls. In real life, I hate spiders with a passion. The creepy little wiggly legs and everything just have me running, screaming, but for some reason I like it. Just put some cute eyes on a spider and I'm all gushy over it. And we've got skulls and bats around the outside. So I won't get this finished even if I do, even if this chat ends up being an hour, because I think there's too much in here. So I picked my colors, and we're going to be using the Bic Intensities. And even when I do a picture mandala, I pick out my color scheme, my color palette beforehand. And I have gone with 3 shades of orange and 3 shades of blue, which complement them. So this is kind of a warm and cool colors joined together palette here, and I think that they contrast each other really well. So in case you want to color along with me, or you'd like to know my color palette here, I will tell you. These are the Bic Intensities, previously known as the Bic Markings, previously known as the Bic Mark It's. So I am using, this is not the right orange. You are just going to have to hang on a second because I need to find the right orange. I think I can talk to you from across the room because it's not that big a room. I think this is it right here. No, that's not it. Where's another orange? Ah, there it is. Hiding on the bottom. Oh, these colors look very similar when you're looking at the caps. The caps all go together nicely, but I have these swatched out, and that's how I picked them. So, now that I have the real colors picked out, we are using Adobe Orange, Summer Melon, and Harvest Orange for our oranges. And then we are using Blue Skies Blue, Ocean View Blue, and Misty Blue. And then I have added Midnight Navy to act as my black. Since I have spiders and bats on here, not sure if I'll do the spiders black, but I definitely want to do the spiders. But rather than just stick a black in there, I chose a color. Midnight Navy often works as a black. So those are my colors, and I've gotten out my ultrafines in the same colors because there are some small spots in here. And to tell you the truth, except for the pumpkin, I think, maybe the tree, I think I'm going to be working with the fines the most. So I'll put these ones over here, and I'll put the big ones up there. So if you've got this book and these markers, feel free to join in, and I'd love to see your colorings on Instagram. Just tag me at Niagara Nikki, and I will be able to see them. So let's get started coloring. I think first I'm just gonna go in there and do this pumpkin. So that is going to be, so let's separate my oranges from my blues. I can work with them. Let's put this in order of light to dark. Okay, so I think our pumpkin is going to be the darkest orange, which is Adobe Orange, I believe. Nope, Harvest Orange. So, how are you? I hope that, okay, yes, I did put my blotter sheet behind. I hope that you are having a good day today, and if you're able, that you're out of bed and have plans for the upcoming weekend. If you live in Canada, I know you will be celebrating Thanksgiving, and I wish you a happy Thanksgiving. We also can be thankful not just on Thanksgiving, but every single day of our lives. We are thankful for something, even if it's only the air that we breathe. We always have something or someone to be thankful for. We often take our spouses for granted, and if you live in a country where it's not Thanksgiving today, be thankful for your spouse. And as I said, the air that you breathe, the food that you eat, the roof over your head. If you think that you don't have anything to thank, you have those staples. There are people who don't, but since you are participating in a color and chat on YouTube, I am assuming that you have a computer and an internet connection, which again are also things that we can be thankful for. Today's world, it's very hard to get by without a computer. It's hard to even find a job without a computer, since everybody wants you to email them your resume. So, have a lovely day today. It is, can I see my clock from here? Yeah, it is 9:30 in the morning here, which is way, way, way too early for me to be up and cheerful. I have my coffee, my morning coffee with me, which I'm going to take a sip of now, but I doubt very much if you're going to be able to see it. It's obviously green, and on this side it has Oscar the Grouch's eyes and his eyebrows. And on the other side it says, "I don't do mornings," which is so me. I even make my doctor's appointments in late morning or afternoon, because I wouldn't go to them if they were in the morning. It's always been hard for me to get up in the morning, and not something that I did willingly, but ever since my pain has increased to this level, I just am not a morning person. So I'll be quiet every now and then, because I do have to concentrate to stay inside the lines. So I will be stopping and coloring every once in a while. These are kind of difficult to color because, well, I've already started coloring them in, so I'm going to, but I think I will go over those with another orange, and that will make them darker. Even if I choose a lighter orange, if I go over this orange with it, it will turn out a darker orange and a different color from this. I think that'll look nicest. So, I guess I'll start with yesterday and today, and then go back to the week, sort of. So, today, as you can tell, I am up and working cheerfully. Medium cheerful. And that's because I have plans for the day, which I am looking forward to. And my husband, I'm not sure if he works the evening today or just starts late afternoon, but he's off for most of the day, so I'm going to go out and get a few things done which have been put off for like 2 weeks now because he just works a lot. And so first thing that we're going to do is take my new reading glasses back to the store and see what they can do with them because they're too big for me. They just fall right off my face. So I've had my new glasses for 2 weeks, but I can't wear them. I would need one of those elastic bands that goes around your head to keep your goggles on. I would need some of those to keep my reading glasses on because as soon as I bend my head, well, I don't even have to bend my head. If I keep my head straight, they slowly glide off my nose. And if I bend forward to read, they fall off my face. So yeah, we're going to go get those seen to, which means I'll be without them for a few more days. But hopefully they'll get them sorted out. And then we are going to this place that we recently heard about to look for a wheelchair for me. And I'll go into that in a few minutes. And then after that, I am going to go to Shoppers, which is a major drugstore chain here in Canada. It's called Shoppers Drug Mart. And I don't go there very often anymore because they got bought out by one of Canada's largest grocery store retailers. And so they've started selling that grocery store's own brand name stuff instead of a lot. Well, they got rid of drugstore's brand and they got rid of a lot of other brand stuff so that they can bring in their stuff. And I don't like that chain of grocery stores, even though one of my husband's jobs is working for them. But, you know, I don't like to shop there. I don't like their brand. So, yeah, so we're going to the drugstore, and I'm going there to look at the magazines because they sell all the coloring magazines there. And last time I went, they had the then new coloring book, which was, we were at World of Princesses, I think it's called. And I want that one. But I'm afraid that it may not be available, or that I may have to go to a couple of different places. Walmart has them too. So I might have to go there to find those. But I also want to look at the other coloring magazines that these places have. And I won't necessarily be buying any of those because I don't know what this is wrapped around. This, I think maybe, oh, I know what it is. It's a rope tying it to the tree. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, there's no other magazines that I want to buy other than the Coloring Heaven one, but I do want to check out the other magazines to see if any of them have Halloween issues. And since I haven't been in the stores for 2 weeks, I don't know if they've got the Halloween issues of Coloring Heaven out, because like I said, we're usually two months behind the British newsstand. Okay, so I think I'm going to take this orange and just go over those little 3D shapes there to kind of push them back. I didn't intend, oh wait, there's another one. So I have to color them all twice because I started that way, and if I don't go over, they'll be a different color if I start with the white with this color. So I need to go over it. And that's definitely looking better. But you know what, guys? I'm going to zoom you in because usually I do a lot of that with the editing process, but you can definitely be closer in. And you know what? While I'm standing up, I'm going to go back over here because I need a gold gel pen. Now I've got one right here. It's a glitter gel and it is AIM Art. So those are our plans for today. Now, just wondering if I should keep those white, because in reality they're going to be inside. We're looking at the inside of the jack-o'-lantern. So I think that I will use the lightest orange in there, and hopefully, yeah, that works. That's enough contrast there that it could kind of be the light shining from the candle inside. And yeah, so it's unusual for me to be filming the color and chat today on the day that I plan to upload it, because I usually do this on Thursdays, and I want it to become part of my routine. Now this is where I want to do the glitter pen is on the buckle. I always do buckles in gel pen. Alright, let's get this thing. Okay. Oops. Well, it just doesn't seem that bright. I've been using a metallic gold for the last picture I was working on. I used a lot of it, and it was definitely brighter than this. But yeah, actually what I'm not used to is that the other pen is opaque and this one's not, which would have been nice because I wanted a line there. So yeah, but yesterday I just couldn't get myself to color. I was just absolutely exhausted after my pain clinic trip, because I take transportation offered by the city to those with issues that make it impossible for them to use other kinds of transit, and I was approved for using that. So, okay, so I think we'll get the trees done, because that's the other big thing in here. And do I want to use, no, I don't want to use orange. I think here is where I want to use blue. And there's going to be a lot of it. That means my background is going to have to be orange, the light orange. But I want this to be orange. Don't want it to be black. Well, maybe I'll go with misty blue, because then it will, doesn't matter what color of a background I go with. I can go with the light blue or the light orange. Alright, well, let's go in. It is one great big tree trunk with two faces on it. So let's start here so I can bring my hand down. So, anyways, I was supposed to be picked up at 10:15. Now, whatever time they give you that they're going to pick you up, they have a leeway time of being able to be 15 minutes early or 15 minutes late. So in actuality, they can come, for me that day, they could have come anytime between 10 and 10:30. So we're supposed to be ready so that they don't have to wait for us if they're 15 minutes early. So it was, I don't know, about 7 to 10, and I was starting to work my way down the stairs, and I never know how that's going to go. Some days it's, it always takes me longer than a normal person to walk down the stairs, or I should say other people in my house. But, yeah, so on a good day, I don't have too much trouble. I'm just slow. But on a really bad day, it can take me a long time to get down those stairs. So I was giving myself 7 minutes to get down the stairs here. And anyways, at 5:02, and I'm about halfway down the stairs, it not being that bad a day, he comes. He arrives, and he's knocking on the door, and my husband got it, and he said he sounded like he was just a little bit brusque, not exactly rude or anything, but, he has a schedule he has to keep to, and they don't like waiting. So I made it into the car, and it was just a couple of minutes before 10, which is the time that I can expect him by. He was 5 minutes earlier than that. And when I get in, I start talking to him, because I'm the first person he picked up, so there's just us in there. And his time to pick me up was 9:55. So according to him, he was right on time. And this is an issue that's been going on with the company for a while now, is that they just can't seem to get their schedules right. And so this has happened before, where the driver's given one time and I'm given another time, and they don't mesh. But this guy, he was like just rushed off of his feet. He had already done 7 people that morning, and it was 10 o'clock. And he'd had problems with all of them. And right now, for 10 to 10:15, he had me plus 4 other people to pick up to go to the next town. And he had he had a total of 15 minutes to pick up, including me, 5 people who live from one end of the town to the other end of the town in, 20 minutes if you count the early time he was given for me. And it takes that long to drive from one end of town to the other. And, that doesn't include his, having to wait for the person to walk to the van, or the time it takes to buckle in wheelchairs, and for them to go up the ramp. People in walkers and wheelchairs need to go up the ramp, and the wheelchairs get locked in to the van. So it's kind of like a, I call it a bus. I call it the bus is my name for it. But it's like a big van, and it's kind of like it had all the seats removed from the middle, and that's where the wheelchairs go. It can hold 2. And then it's got the passenger seat, and it has the two wheelchair spots in the middle, and then it has a side seat right behind the passenger seat, and then at the back it has a bench that holds 3 people. So he didn't have a full bus, but he had a pretty full one. And yeah, by the time we picked up the last person, we were 15 minutes away from the time that she had her appointment in St. Catharines. And there's no way she was going to make it, because I mean, if the traffic was okay and you were speeding, you could get to St. Catharines, which is the next town to here, in 20 minutes. But that wasn't going to happen, because ever since the beginning of the summer, the city of St. Catharines has been basically under, oh, that's the rope. Okay, so let's make that looks like the end of the branch, and the rope starts there. So, yeah, basically the whole city's been under construction, and the tunnel, that's what we call it. There are actually 2 tunnels here which go under the canal, the Welland Canal. That's here in our area. So it's been under construction. So, yeah, it's been, that's what we call it, under construction. And when my cousin came to visit us from England, one of the first things they said when they got here, because they had had a little bit of a vacation in the north of Canada before they came down here, and they said, well, we've learnt a new word, and they said, under construction. And to us, she said, that means that, they're building houses there, and it's not. They're working on the roads. She goes, oh, we call that roadworks. And yeah, so that's just an aside. If you're British, then and haven't been over here, then, well, there's something new for you. And yeah, so it takes longer to get to St. Catharines right now than it does normally. And so, anyways, the whole trip was spent with them. They're all pros at this, have been taking the bus for years, and I was only approved this summer, so I don't know all the things that they were talking about, but they were talking about the scheduling, and how they understood it wasn't the driver's fault, but that people who were doing the scheduling, and blah 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 blah, so it was a busy, talky ride there. Now, I have a hard time being around, being in a group of people with my anxiety, but I take one of my sublingual tablets. That means I take it and put it under my tongue and let it melt, and then it starts to work right away. I always take one of those before I get on. And but my anxiety is mostly concerned with the people talking and me having to listen to their conversations. That's what gets me all worked up. So, that wasn't the greatest for me. And then we got to the pain clinic 1 minute after my appointment was due. And I was due to be picked up 45 minutes from then. I was picked up at, let's say, 5 to 10, because that's when he was here. And I was in the bus 1 minute in advance. So, I can't believe I've been 34 minutes already, and I'm only basically going to cover 2 things that I was going to talk about today. So, let's make a long story short, we hope. So, I had been on the road or out or whatever since 9:55, and it was now 11:15. And I'm sitting there waiting in the office, which is an extremely busy day. Normally it's not, but every now and then they have really busy days. And so it's 11:30 now, and 15 minutes past my appointment time, because what they do is they take you in the order that you come. So, all the 11:15 people were there. And what is going on with this picture? Because it goes up there, and then that curls around. And then that one doesn't. Oh yeah, I guess this is the part that joins the 2 trees together. And I missed this one here. So I go, and I'm expecting my bus back at 12 o'clock. So I go up to the desk and I said, could you just let them know that transit is coming to pick me up at 12 o'clock? And, I hated, trying to push myself ahead of others, but, they, when they come to pick you up, they don't ever leave you stranded, but if you're not ready yet, they may go and fit you in at another time. So, if I wasn't ready at 12 and he came at 12 and he had to go pick up 3 other people at 12, and they said, oh, I won't be done for another 20 minutes, then he could go and come back and pick me up at 2. So, I had to let them know so that I caught the bus. And so, yeah, they took me in pretty much like the next person. Me and another went in at the same time. And so then I get out, and it's 10 to 12. And I wait till 12. And I wait till 11:15. And my bus comes. So it was good that I was out, but he still, came 15 minutes late. But I expected that. But I asked him when I got in, because, I was just curious, what time was he told that he had to pick me up? And he goes, well, I'm right on time. And I was supposed to pick you up at 12:15. And I'm like, oh, well. And they told me 12 o'clock. So I know about the 15 minutes. So, for me, I was supposed to be waiting for you from 11:45 to 12:15. Or, no, sorry, I was supposed to be waiting for you from 12 until 12:30. But since you had 9:55, you could have come at 11:45 to pick me up. So, I wasn't out of my appointment by then. And yeah, the ride back was full too, and it was a much more pleasant thing. But anyways, I get home and it's 1:30, and I've been on the road since 9:55, and with all the busyness of the office and the talking in the bus on the way there, I was absolutely exhausted. I mean, truly exhausted. And, that happens to me because of my, the diagnoses, my problems, but it's also because of the fibro. I mean, if you don't have fibro, you just have to imagine yourself at your most tired, if you haven't slept for 2 nights. that's just like how exhausted I felt from this. And I didn't want to go to sleep because I had to film my coloring chat. And I was looking forward to it too. But, you know, I sat down, had a cup of coffee to kind of try and wake myself up. And I just kept dozing off. Like I was fighting it. And I should have just let myself go to sleep, because if I had, I probably would have woken up about 7 and I would have been able to do my coloring chat, but I didn't. I just sat there and I didn't notice myself falling asleep, but I noticed that all the time I was waking up. So I was falling asleep, sitting up in bed, and falling asleep and waking up, like, say, every 15 minutes until about 9 o'clock at night, which was, you know, like I said, I should have let myself just go to sleep and laid down, turned the lights off, and had a good sleep, but I didn't. And so I paid for it. I couldn't do my coloring chat, and so I planned I would do it in the morning. And fortunately, I woke up this morning and, you know, I just had my normal dose of pain, took my pills, and was feeling pretty good. So I had a cup of coffee. Speaking of which, I need to sip this. You know, I just now looked at the screen, and thank goodness you were on screen the whole time. So, oh, that's his spooky mouth. I'm going to have to color that in. Maybe I'll color that in the light orange too. Well, it's too bad I don't have red. I'll think about that. Yeah, so that's why I am filming now. Now, the other thing that I said I would get back to was the wheelchair thingy. And I think I told you in my last coloring chat that my doctor had referred me to another center to see about getting me a wheelchair. Well, this center just deals with the government and tries, you know, to get you one through government aid. The place that I'm like on the list with and like taking like forever with, it's like been 6 months, I don't know. I just feel, you know, we're at the point where, you know, the doctor said, well, you know, are they working for you, or, you know, what? Let's give this a try. So anyways, after the doctor referred me, she said that I would hear from them on Friday or Monday at the latest. So like, I'm like really cool about that. The lady called me on Thursday, and she said that, you know, she'd like to come that day. And I'm like, oh no, that's not going to work, because I can't get ready for something. I have to like prepare myself in my mind for things, and usually I need a good few days, and, you know, weeks is even better. But I said, no, I can't. It's just not going to work for today. And she says, well, tomorrow and 9 o'clock. And I said, yeah, okay, I can make it tomorrow, because, you know, I definitely wanted this. But I'm like, can it be a little later than 9? And yeah, so I made my appointment for, I think it was 10:45. And then, you know, I was talking to her, did a little bit of the intake over the phone, and she asked me some questions and stuff, and she said, well, you know what, I'm the person who deals with the machinery, and, but, you know, she said, what about self-care? And she asked me some questions, and then she said, well, you know, I'm going to put you down for someone from self-care to come along and see if, you know, they can help you in that area. And she said, but they will take longer to get in touch with you. So I'm like, okay, that's great, cool. See you tomorrow. And then the next morning at like 9 o'clock, I get a call, and it's another lady, and it's from the personal care section, and she wants to come see me today, and she asks if I've heard from the other lady already, and I'm like, yeah, she's coming today. And then she goes, oh, that's great, would I be able to come after her? And yeah, see, this is that tree. This is it's kind of like interwoven here. So yeah, this was great for me to get them both out of the way, but I knew I was going to have to deal with my being tired issue afterwards, but it didn't interfere with anything, so that's fine. And so anyways, I had both of them come, and the lady who dealt with machinery, which was the the part that I had been referred to, did ask me tons of questions and did a big, intake with me and everything. And she said that I would not qualify for a wheelchair for government funding because, and get this, okay? Because, let's push you up a bit, because the government will only fund you for a wheelchair if you need it in the house. Well, there's no way that I would ever need a wheelchair in my house because I live in a house that was built in 1910. So the rooms are small, and of course they're kind of packed full because, they weren't made for the size of furniture and furnishings are today. So I get around my house just fine by putting my hands out and, leaning myself around by leaning on the furniture and the furnishings. There isn't really anywhere that I can go in my house and not be able to put my arms out and rest on something and, pull myself or whatever. And it's not the fact that I can't walk. I'm like, I can walk. It's just that it's so painful that I can't be on my feet for like more than 3 minutes in a row. So, yeah, if those are the stipulations, we wouldn't even, I don't qualify, so I don't know why they even bothered. But I guess they had to see the place. And yeah, so that was bad news. But we do have to remember we still have the slowpokes on. And my husband's going to give them a call if he gets a chance today. And if not, it'll be Tuesday because Monday is a holiday for Thanksgiving here. And, yeah, but she did tell us something that we didn't know. There is a place here called For the Needy, Not the Greedy. And it is a really big, kind of like warehouse that is a charity. And they sell all previously used care items for the handicapped. And whether you need a cane or, like you saw in my video, a reacher, or long handled toilet bowl cleaner, all sorts of things, up to and including wheelchairs and electric wheelchairs. So she said that the prices there are very reasonable, like dirt cheap actually for what you're getting. And she said they're always getting stuff in. They have so many wheelchairs that they're all lined up in rows, and they're organized by size. It's just like going to the thrift store where you go along the racks and you find your size. And you look, well, it's the exact same thing here, but with wheelchairs. And she said, you know, you will find something there, she said. Maybe not the first time you go and maybe not the second time you go, but you will definitely find something there. So that's good news, and that's where we're going to go, because, you know, I might be able to get a nice wheelchair for a couple of $100. You know, that's basically what we're hoping. But who knows? We haven't a clue because we haven't been there yet. And that's the tree all done, guys. Now, we need to get some more color in here. So, I think I'm going to do the spiders are going to be navy. And, yeah, so we're going to go to that store. And then the personal care lady came and, oh, I forgot to tell you, but that lady, the first one, she said that I could qualify for a walker. And I don't need a walker for walking, but right now I can't go into the stores. Well, I mean, I do, but it's agony, and I do it very seldomly. And so a walker for me would be great to take into the shops, because then I can sit down on the chair part of it and look at stuff, you know, so I could be in a store and sit down wherever I was whenever the pain got bad. So yeah, they're gonna fit one to me. It'll be personalized so that it fits me exactly. And yeah, so she said it's going to be a long, slow process, but she said you'll have one within 4 months. But if their expected times are as good as getting those two out to see me, then, you know, it might be a lot sooner. So anyways, the personal care lady came, and we did a lot of talking and all that kind of stuff. And it was just great talking to these two ladies, because, I mean, they you know, they had answers for me, and they were also really nice to talk to, because they knew what it was like. I mean, maybe not personally, but they deal with these people all the time. And so, you know, they talked to me in a respectful tone without being condescending, which some people do. They think that they have to talk loud at you or something, like you're deaf because you're in a wheelchair. You know, I rent wheelchairs occasionally, so, you know, I've been in one. Or they talk to you like you're a child, like you're, you know, you don't have all your wits about you or something. I don't know. But, yeah, so the personal care lady came, and I'm going to finish this video off, because in 7 minutes it will start making a new video, because it goes for an hour, and then it automatically starts its own. It automatically cuts the video and starts making a new one. So yeah, I want to get off within the next 6 minutes, so that I don't have a second clip that's 2 minutes long that I have to add on. So yeah, the personal care lady came, and you know, we decided together that I didn't need any help from them yet, and, you know, hopefully never, because she was more about, you know, actual personal care, like that I need help getting out of bed in the morning. Well, yeah, sometimes I kind of like do, but, you know, can I get down the stairs? And, you know, like, my husband helps me with that stuff. I don't want somebody coming over to, like, get me up in the morning and get me down the stairs. And, you know, personal care, like, you know, washing and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I have a big bench chair type thing in my bathroom. to help me out so that I can do all that stuff myself. And yeah, so we just decided that wasn't something I needed at this point in my life. So that was it with her. And so that's the story of that. I can't believe I talked about two things. And my time is running out. I've got 5 minutes left. But so here's the picture so far. And I'm going to color the owl in various shades of orange. So I've got the 3 oranges here. I won't use this shade much. Just put some in it. And so I'll color it oranges. And then the background is going to be light orange. I haven't used it yet. Or is it what I used for in here? Yeah, it was. So I'm going to use this lightest orange as my background since the blue took up so much space. And then I will use a combination of the oranges and the blues. I'll probably go back to my original 6 colors to work the mandala border and bring in the navy for the bats. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you want to see this page finished right away, then join my Instagram channel, which is listed down below in the comments. You can also purchase this book from my link down below, and if you do choose to use that link, I'm very thankful and grateful. I appreciate it, and it helps out this channel. So I'm going to say goodbye, even though I still have lots to say. It means that it's going to give me more to talk about next time. Maybe we'll have an even longer one, which would be truly, oh God, I'm losing my words at the end now. But it's something I never dreamt of, that I would do a color and chat for an hour, let alone longer. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I wish you a happy Thanksgiving this weekend. And remember to thank all the people who in your life that you are thankful for. Show them some appreciation, even if it's not Thanksgiving in your part of the world. And so I will say toodaloo, and in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.